There is a sandwich and there is a sandwich, really. So what makes a good sandwich? A really good sandwich is the one that people think beforehand what they're going to put in there to make a very balanced sandwich with a lot of different, or not a lot, but several different flavors that together will make your mouth jump. It's going to be sensational. If you think about the sandwiches that you can buy in the store, they are great, they are good. Well, there is a reason for that. It's like there were times that my daughter said, Mom, your sandwiches are not tasting very well. Let's go to a restaurant to have a sandwich. And I was like, what? A sandwich is a sandwich. Like, how their sandwich is better and mine is not so good? Okay, fine. So they will put a lot of fat or margarine or whatever it was on their sandwiches, which I wouldn't. But still, you want to be able to make a great sandwich. So I began checking of different options and researching why the sandwich was not great. I mean, I thought I had the same ingredients, but it turns out that the quality of the ingredients that you use is important. The quantity of the ingredients is important. How do you put them on your sandwich is important. And the balance between them is important. So for example, if you have a crusty bread, you will want to have something smooth on it. If you're going to have something like tomato or any other veggie that it contains a lot of water, you will want to have something on the bread that is oily so the bread doesn't become soggy. If you want something very spicy or salty, you need a little bit of sweetness in the sandwich to make it perfect. So today I'm going to make a sandwich that it will be kind of Italian sandwich or a pizza-based sandwich. The beauty about the sandwich is things first. Here is my bread. The bread has to be a good bread, a bread that you like. But if it's not a very fresh, that's fine. You just toast it a little bit and it's going to be great. If you don't love it, that's fine. Just have something in it that you love it, and that will make a good sandwich. If you love the bread, even better. No question about it. So I will use rustic bread. That's what I have at home. You can use anything that you have at home, anything that you like. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to smear some oil. You can use some butter as well, butter or oil. And that way will help the bread not to be soggy. So I'm going to add some spinach, or you can add some lettuce, some tomatoes, and that will guarantee that the bread is not going to be all soft. Next thing that I'm going to do is going to add some tomatoes. So here are my tomatoes. I just had small tomatoes at home, so that's what I'm using. You can use tomatoes, big tomatoes. Remember, when you cut tomatoes, don't cut them too thin or too thick, because you want the flavors to blend. So if it's too thin, you're not going to feel it. If it's going to be too thick, it's going to be overwhelming. Next, then this is important. You have your veggies, it's like a salad. You need to season them. I could do that from the container as well, but I do it on top of the sandwich because I don't mind the bread getting a little bit of spices too. I will add now some raw onions. Again, thin sliced. And I'm making sure that in every bite, you will have a piece of onion or a piece of that tomato. I will cover with spinach. You can do lettuce, you can do any veggie really. The thing is that the tomatoes are sweet, the spinach are crunchy. So the texture of the two of them together works really well. If your greens are not crunchy, you can leave them in very cold water before you use it in your sandwich or in a salad or wherever you want to use it for a couple of minutes, and that cold water will revive the spinach or the other veggies. That will make them crisp again. Because I put a lot of my veggies, I'm going to season them again. This is important. And not too much, but enough for them to have a flavor. Now, because I like my sandwiches extra crispy, I'm going to put some Doritos in it. And to finish the sandwich, I like to have a kind of sauce. So you can have, or you can put anything that you have at home. If it's mustard, it is ketchup, it is barbecue sauce. If it's pickles sauce, any sauce is going to be good on a sandwich and will give it the flavor that you want to have. Also, if you have something that is pickled, that flavor is going to be a good combination with what you have. When I insert something that is pickled, I usually add a very thin slice of green apple. That will give it the crunchiness that you may look for and a sweet flavor, and really adds up. Now, before I begin cooking, I saute some onions. So that's what I'm going to use for my sauce. This will give a great taste. It's going to be sweet, but not sweet enough. If you like sweet in your sandwich, try use fruit. That is really good in sandwiches. If you don't have fresh fruit, that's fine too. If you have a can, you can open it, wash the fruit so it's not super sweet, and use it in your sandwich. So I'm putting everything together. And here it is, guys. This is the most delicious sandwich because it's well balanced. It has a little bit of everything. It's assembled in a great order. Now, if things are falling a little bit, what I'm going to do is just going to put it on the oven for a couple of, in the microwave oven for a couple of seconds, or on the toaster oven for less than a minute, so it warms up. When the bread is going to be warm, then everything is going to stick together nicely. If you want it to really stick together, you can also add some cheese. So on top of everything, I'm going to add some cheese. And that will guarantee that everything sticks together to my bread. And in just in case, and that it will still fall down, and in order to make sure that so I had the sandwich in the toaster oven for about 4 minutes. I put it in the oven open, and after 2 minutes I closed it. I made sure that it was a little bit toasty on every side. The cheese, you can see, melts really nicely. The veggies are well cooked, and they are kind of glued a little bit to the bread. That way they're not going to fall down. And it smells really, really good. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Remember, the most important thing for the sandwiches is the balance. Have a good day and enjoy. This is really good.